Lieutenant Rolie McManley walked up the outside flight of steps leading to his office in the back of the base laundry building. As he approached the top, he could hear raucous laughter from inside the building and men and women shouting back and forth in a jocular fashion. Because of the busy traffic in the street behind the laundry, Rolie couldn't hear what was being said. A good laugh was what he needed right about now, and he was eager to get in on the fun. He liked joking around with his pretty WM staff. The rugged-looking lieutenant opened the door and stepped into his office. The top floor of the building immediately fell silent, and people with straight faces were going about their business of shuffling papers and running a base laundry. Below, he could hear the distant thrum and rumble of the large machines which washed, dried, and processes the clothing. A laundry truck left the delivery bay with a roar and a clash of gears. Several telephones rang. What the hell, he thought. This was not good. This was not a good sign at all. Something was up. Nobody was looking at him, in a manner that suggested to him that they were trying not to look at him. Rolie became very paranoid. His career was on the line here. Could just the small indiscretion of dressing like a baby girl at night be the end of everything he worked for? Would these people do that to him? Sure, he bossed everybody in the department around like a third-world dictator, never took no for an answer, and made big fun of those weaker than himself, but he was a Marine. Tough and aggressive. Maybe using that to cover up his frail little girl Sissy side wasn't such a good idea now that things seemed to have changed. The lieutenant was snatched from his self-pitying thoughts when a pretty little blonde WM private came into his office and told him that there was a problem at the carry-in receiving counter. This little WM was right out of high school and as cute as a kitten with a killer body beneath the sharp-looking starched uniform. She is in the stenographer pool, and he asked for her specifically to be attached to the laundry, specifically so that he could rummage through her pretty underthings at night in the back room where laundry employees deposited their dirty laundry. In fact, that was where he got all his baby girl items, those that came through the laundry from families stationed on the base. He was weak-kneed when he had a pretty pair of frilly little girl's panties in his hand, sniffing the slightly soiled cotton gusset, inhaling the femininity in its budding years, or the lace-trimmed panties of a young woman in her prime, her hormones trumpeting womanhood through his sinuses directly into his brain. What's the problem at receiving? Rolie asked in his strict officer's tone. There is a WM captain demanding to speak to the officer in charge, sir. Did she say what she wanted? Can you tell what's wrong? No, sir. Rolie descended the inside stairs and navigated the corridors to the carry-in receiving station. He was hoping it was a pretty WM. He was getting a little excited thinking about going through her lingerie, touching her panties, holding her bra up to his chest. He loved to feel silky nylon lingerie caress his rigid little tiki as he let the gossamer material gently glide over his stomach and tiny erection. He has been particularly horny lately. He might even try on a full set of her lingerie in the back room tonight. Rolie rounded the corner and marched up to the counter, elated to see that the WM captain was a knockout. His little weenie started to slide up the leg of his marine boxers in anticipation of tonight. Yes, the lieutenant said to his superior officer. When she saw Rolie, her face twisted into anger. I don't want your privates touching my lingerie, she almost shouted. Horrified, Rolie's stomach flip-flopped and his jaw dropped as his mind raced. He tried to appear nonchalant, but his knees almost buckled and he felt like he was going to throw up. Busted. Perversely, his rising erection embarrassingly grew to its diminutive fullness. Oh God, she knows. This is it. It's all over now. Public confrontation, this is as bad as it could get, right here in front of a dozen of his subordinates. He is doomed. His only chance was to act innocent. Though his words were calm, his face was as white as a freshly bleached cloth diaper. He managed to croak,